I never get to play with stuff like this, really. As a kid, I'd take my portable cassette recorder and hold it against the TV at songs that I liked. Like, it's as scrubby as it got. I'm the guy who only has iPods because people threw them out. But when eBay recommended this to me, and I just took one look at it, I was like, what is this thing? Then I saw what it retailed for 10 years ago and went, oh, $1,200 dues. 1,200. I didn't pay anywhere near that. I saw the price they were asking for and went, this is my chance to finally play with these kinds of devices. Hold on to your butts. Oh, walnut and brass together at last. Look at this Art Deco arrangement here. That's a headphone jack, am I right? Micro SD, another headphone jack, digital in and out for upsampling, and that models will be Satan's bumhole. Well, we'll get to that in a bit. Full transparency here. The thing that made me want to buy it, right here. Analog volume control. Look how charming that is. Low-end mixing desks, you just get a potentiometer. You gotta pay extra for a fader like this. And I bet folks are going, oh mate, $1,200 dues. That's a year's worth of top weekends right there. Oh, I bet it's the best thing you've ever used and it makes you cry every time. Well, here's the thing. This thing is the worst music player I've ever used. Full honest. Let's get started with the fact that this is a music player I actually deem dangerous. As you'd imagine, it has a big smelly amp in it. This was famed as being one of the first portable music players that can drive 300 ohm headphones. I mean, what are ohms? To nearly everybody, it's not important. Look, these are 45 ohms, which is how much resistance it is. These don't need a lot of power to drive because, you know, they're just plugged into an MP3 player or whatever. It's all pretty stable. My K612 studio cans, these are 120 ohms, so more resistance. So when I have these plugged into an iPod, I usually got to turn up the volume a little bit extra. I don't run out of volume and they sound awesome. So yeah, this can drive 300 ohm headphones. Like, that's for studio applications. You know, when you got all sorts of cables plugged in and like 20 wall outlets on, and there's a potential for lots of noise, you know, high resistance headphones can help. So that's showing the market that this thing's getting into. This is made for people who've already made an insane investment in their audio gear. Let's paint a scenario. Little Kevo wants to listen to S Club 7 again. Oh, I'm just gonna take mum's headphones. Oh, who cares? Well, you just pull it tighter. Oh, there you go. Look, it's not a problem anymore. Oh, look, that's that one. Mom, there's no music coming out of it. Oh, wait, I found it. So he puts it in there, going, oh, yeah, it's Club 7, young forever. Then he goes to put it into his pocket. Ka-chow. Low resistance headphones and max volume out of this thing is terrifying, and that takes no effort at all. Another thing is, it's big. Look everyone, it's the first ever iPod. Whoa. Unveil. Amazing. Big lad express, choo choo, am I right? And yeah, this is a big lad. When I take this places, people go, whoa, that's so thick. Let's put it down next to the Colorfly C4. This is big. It's big. It's really big. Like, when I saw it in this is like a clamshell to me. And I was like, okay, the player's gonna be inside. No, it was just like a big leather sock. And I belly laughed when this came out. It's the size of like a Game Boy. So on the bottom, you got your big jack, your little jack, digital in and out, micro SD, and this guy. This guy! This mini USB connector is so sensitive, if you nudge it or touch it, it'll just kick itself from the computer. Reviewers said the same thing. So it was always an issue. And which is so annoying given how crazy slow this thing is. It's a good thing WAVs and Flacs are really small in size. Oh wait, no they're not. They're like the biggest music you can smell. So, you know, like a 3 GB album, you drag it in here, see the ETA of like 40 minutes, you go, well, I'm gonna go away for a while. You only come back and find out it's put on the first track and then kicked itself. Micro SD card slot. Well, let's talk storage. This has 32 gig storage on board. Late 2010, that was good. I mean, how long were iPhones stuck at 16 gigs for? Look at this guy, you see it? 16 gigs! But the downer is, you can only put in another 32 gigs. 64 max. That's it. I don't get that. This lad from 2009 has 2 terabytes in it at the moment. So it's awesome that you got 2 headphone jacks. You got your full-size lad right here. Woo! and the regular 3.5 mil as well. So you think, oh cool, 2 people can share in the glory that is this music player. No, one thing they don't tell you is that is gimped. Yep, it just doesn't sound as good. End of story. Same headphones, you take the big adapter off, put it in there, it just doesn't sound as good. Reviewers said the same thing, customer testimony said the same thing. I don't get that. Like, why? Hey, it gets even worse. Let's turn it on. Nice and dim display, by the way. So it's got these controls on it, and you know, it looks all Art Deco and crazy because, let's face it, it needs to, because it's this crazy, affluent, ostentatious music player. These are the worst controls I've ever used. It is so unresponsive, especially the up button. Ugh. It always misses 1 or 2, and sometimes it even goes down when you press up. I'm not lying. And here's even worse. Left and right go up and down as well. It's like an old platformer that has up for jump. Like, what were they thinking? Look, here's M. Oh, you have to hold it. Let's put on some gorillas. Oh, look. All the music is shuffled. Why? Look, they're even numbered. And it just shuffles it. This is just something it does. It's not alphabetical. It's anything. 19-2000. I love this track. Oh, look, a VU meter. No, there isn't anything wrong. That's the frame rate of the VU meter. Look how slow that is. What's the point? The iPhone 4 was out, everyone. Like, we had retina screens. This is garbage. It just looks awful. And just combined with the unresponsive controls and menuing and the fact that everything's shuffled, the whole experience absolutely stinks. See the little music note button? That's for the EQ, right? You see it changing there? Why didn't they just write EQ? They wrote SRC there, so they showed they could fit it on there, but no, little music notes. Let's talk battery life. Yeah, about 4 to 5 hours when it was new. That's it, really. So this zany control pad, whatever, it looks great, it's hilarious, yeah. But they're not backlit. This is impossible to navigate because the controls are so unresponsive. You don't know if you've pressed something or done anything right. You're just fumbling in the dark. It stinks. Like, just say you want to listen to some crazy high-res audio before you go to sleep. Have fun dealing with this. Like, you're going to have this tattooed in your mind as to what anything does. And, this thing yelled at me. That's how you know it's hi-fi, when it has the power to yell. Audio technicians around the world know that there are 2 things in this world that know how to scream. Cockatoos and audio gear. Let's get out of here. I need to show this to you. So I've picked a song here. Look, we got the maximum disrespect Logitech speaker going on here, because I'm not subjecting the sexy speaker to this thing. Plug her in, headphone in, got some volume. You ready? Let's put on the next song. Yeah! Yeah, this one's my favorite. Uh-oh. Pause. That was freaking out then. I actually had to do a hard reset. Holy smokes. Boy, was I in for a surprise. I found myself a nice piece of plastic lawn chair furniture, had my legs up on the old fat dog, mate, half spilt beer in hand. I'm like, all right, listen to some nice music, and then it screamed at me. So there you go. It's an overly big, poor battery life, dangerous to use, impossible to navigate, terrible controls, awful display, nonsensical buttons, gimped inputs, and it might just scream at you as well. Well, how does it sound? And this is the hardest part of the video because, you know, talking about what something sounds like is explaining wine and being all like, oh, it tastes like chocolate with a hint of vacuum cleaner dust. How do you share it? So I thought I got to put it up against an easy target. I got to set my monster on something easy. Yep, the big dingus itself, which is beautiful because this has a headphone jack, and it plays Flacs. I even use VLC, so it's drag and drop just like this guy. I use my AKG K612 Pros, because you can use this in the non-gimped one, and then you can take this off to put it in the dingus. I have a home-built studio where it's nice and quiet and padded, and I sat down and really listened to these. And you know what? Because I was in a quiet room with a nice set of headphones, had to turn up a little bit extra because, you know, the resistance of these guys, and I was listening to this going, man, this sounds great. Which means I've got to talk about, you know, what is good? Good audio for me is where you don't miss any of the music. Cheap headphones just have no bass, TVs are basically nothing but mids, laptops are nothing but the high-end stuff. So if you can get the whole spectrum, that's good. Sitting in a quiet room with these, I mean, let me tell you, it's good. Our standard of audio is so high nowadays that this is the new standard of terrible. We're doing pretty good. And I was digging this because of these big fat cans in a quiet room and Flacs, mind you. I was like, yeah, man, bass is punchy, all that good stuff. And that's up until I plug this thing in. And, all right, I get it. Oh, I'm going to start talking about chocolate and vacuum cleaner dust now. How do I describe it? Like, it just sounds big, but then it's also ridiculously clean. The bass gets really low, but then it doesn't get muddy. And the hi-hats are so crispy, but it doesn't get in the way of the vocals or the mids. I've never heard my headphones sound so good. And this really dangerous audio slider, man, I write music, and for referencing music, a good trick is to listen to music really quietly so you can hear the volume of all the tracks. And on a MacBook, it's in like chunks, and it's really hard to get it quiet enough. The most unusual problem I know. This guy, you can listen to stuff like that. I tested iPod headphones in this, and it was literally like that much volume was just like too much. I put MP3s on this too. They sounded amazing. Everything that played through this thing was amazing, like honest. This all said, this isn't a magic weaver. I've got a set of headphones I use all the time that cost me a pretty penny that I flat out don't like the sound of. My Shure 425s. These cost more than AirPod Pros, and they're just a dingus cabled whatever. I mean, mind you, they're super strong and totally modular. Yeah, so then you can plug these into Bluetooth adapters and things. But these sound flat. They are just completely flat, and that's by design. These are reference headphones. I use these for gigs. They're really good noise protection. It's just so you can hear what you sound like in the mix. And I use these to go walking with because they're very discreet, they're super durable, and when you're walking near trucks, your music's not going to sound good anyways. So I thought if there was any music player that could finally make these sound good, it was this guy. And they didn't. It was the best they've sounded, but I still didn't like it. So, a good set of headphones is the best value. Like, honestly, Sennheiser HD280 Pros running out of your phone or whatever, these sound great and they're not that expensive. Like in the States, $100, $100, and you can have these. Studios I've worked in always had these. That's why I got some. These are heaps old as well. They're so durable. And when I plugged these into this, they sounded even better. These have way more bass compared to the open AKGs. And so actually, these two together, I love. So, big recommended. So that's it then. This is my new player because it sounds the best. Why would I use this anymore? No. Honestly, this guy with AirPods going for walks, nothing beats that. And I like to do kick flips with my music players. And I'm a little bit too nervous. I gotta do one. Oh yeah, come on. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, kick flips. If I paid $1,200 for this, honestly, I'd be furious. The screen is garbage, the controls are garbage, gimped, just not that useful really, rubbish. But then it proceeds to make the best sounds I've ever heard. And I'm stoked to have it because now I've got a really good point of reference for what a good music player sounds like, because I do want to get into, the sound differences of all the different iPods over the years, and now I've got something to go against it. But you're probably looking at these really accessible screws. Not these two, they're fake for some reason. Come on, we all want to have a look inside, don't we? Oh, what am I doing? Ah! Can't be that easy, can it? Oh, that made crunchy noises. I am terrified. I hate this. Oh. Whoa. Oh, it's busy in here. Wow. There's a lot of guts going on in here. Oh man. If you want all the specs on this thing, I've got the link down below, so you can look at the page, because I honestly don't understand any half of this stuff. It sounds great though. Well, I mean, how do I wrap this up? This is clearly not designed to be portable like an iPod. It doesn't even have a hold switch. This is just live to go. And if you turn it on with the volume on, it goes bang. And when you turn it off, it goes kaboof. It really is a portable hi-fi. I mean, for me, this is my vinyl. It's this crazy expensive format where your albums may not even be available on it. This was meant to be the first 24-bit portable music player. Yeah, good luck finding everything on that. It's super fussy to use, but wow, when you plug it into the right port, It just makes things sound wonderful. And so I'm done rambling. So thanks so much for watching. Huge thanks to my Patreon, especially these names right here. I can't get into stuff like this without their help, even though this was like stupidly cheap for how I found it. I'm super stoked. $1 a month for my Patreon if you want more videos with an after show. This week I'm going to be playing with an oscilloscope since today's theme is high audio, whatever. And so I'll see y'all next time.
Now, Franklin, I've been supporting you for like 4 years now on the promise that at some point you're going to get a job and pave your own way. So when are you going to make that happen? Right? It's been 4 years. You can't just sit and you look at me. Look at me.